Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn in our Cavernwood colony, and we have a drought that's about to hit us. And as you can see, our reservoir didn't fill up fully. It filled up a decent amount. It got over these, but I would really like to see it fill up just a little bit more. So what we're going to have to do today is find a different source, because these 4 water sources have done great so far, but we're going to have to pump some more water into this to get it to actually fill. And as these droughts get longer, we get more beavers, there's more going on with the water, we're definitely going to need it. And I think at the end of the day, we might get it right here from the Mystic Cave itself. But we'll be back to that. There's a couple of things that I want to take a look at first. First of all, our Stackaqueduct is still coming along, doing okay over here. What I think I'm going to do for this last section, though, is I'm going to remove these two, like so. And we're just going to put the end wall up, and they can figure out how to build it. So we'll just do this, and we'll go all the way up. Got to be careful now, because you can overhang these, so it might not be exactly the same amount all the way up if you're not careful. See, you can go something like that. We don't want to do that. We just want to come up here and get all of this. Oh, there, I overhanged one. There's a random one in the air. And that's as high as the terrain goes, so we're going to have to finish out with levees, which, not that big a deal. We are going to have to do that on the other end anyway. So I'm going to put up an extra one down here as well. Let's clear out these ones hanging in midair. And then to help build, we're just going to come over here. Oh, don't need that one either. Good thing I went back. There we go. Over here. And you know what? Let's go up this side. We can get rid of those in a second. Do that. If I put in a... Oh, where's the tiny Tubeway station? Let's grab that. There we go. Then they can come out here, and we can continue to build over across there. Do I want them? You know what? I'm going to leave those in, and then they can have multiple places to build, at least all the way up to here, and then we can take them back out. Something else we're going to have to do, we're going to unfortunately have to sacrifice our pine forest again. There's nothing to do in range. Ah, yes. We need to say, yeah, go ahead, cut everything down. There we go. Let's get that cutting. And, oh, I missed one right here. I don't know how that happened. There we go. Let's also maybe get a set of stairs up here, and we'll grab these couple of trees that are here. Don't need that. We'll say one there, and we'll put in our lumberjack to go ahead and get these here. Could probably tell them we want them to cut down, though, so let's go ahead. Tell them cut all this, cut all that. If you can get to it, get to that and that. And that'll be part of this. And then for extra trees, we're going to put in... Let's see, we need some trees pretty immediately. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a forester. We're going to set one down. Can I reach everything from here? No, not really. Let's put one right there in the corner. That's good. Come around through here. Let's get a couple lumberjack flags. One here. Do one here. They can still... That'll work. That's fine. And trees we'll do... We'll actually do a little bit of birch over here so that it grows pretty quickly, and we can keep that coming in. And then the rest can be oak to fill us up on more lumber. Really thought that big forest over there would be enough, but nope, that's all right. We'll take all this out. We'll have to come back and get the other stuff in there, but they've got plenty of stuff to take care of there. In fact, let's go ahead. we'll put in a couple of dirt here. There we go. And we'll put trees on top of that too, and why not right here as well? It doesn't catch on the corner anymore. I keep forgetting that. There we go. Do those. Do those. They can get all that in and start working on stuff as they get it. Let's see. How far over? If I were to put in a bridge, maybe, just maybe, we can get over there a little bit farther. We go. 3 and 3. Oh, well, that's a different height. So that's not going to work at all, is it? Let's go there. Grab the bridge. Oh, I need a longer bridge. There we go. And then we'll do stairs. We'll do ladders so they have more room to do stuff. There we go. That goes in there. That goes in there. In fact, let's just connect it in, because why not? You never know. And then hopefully, yeah, that can reach even more into there. We'll just do oak trees over here too. Again, not the fastest solution, but it should be a solution. There we go. Oh, we're getting more and more ready and in well-being. I don't know which one we got. We still need coffee. I have not invested in coffee yet. I will get there when I get there. In fact, tell you what, let's also put in a short ladder set here. Do I want it here? No, I kind of want it in the corner over here. And then we'll connect these in just so we can get back to this dirt over here. We've got these off, and I can't see us needing to get those back for a little bit. So let's take those out. How are you guys doing? All right. Do I really need this many? Well, I will need this many because I'm going to have to put in these. However, hopefully I'm going to move those over here pretty soon. In fact, we might go ahead and set up for them just in case, and we'll set them to low priority. Let's see what we want to put down here. I want to put some wood workshops in first, maybe about 3 of them. And then we'll do a whole bunch of metal. There's our smelter. What do we got? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sounds good. And then the other thing that is 4 long here, dynamite. That's what we needed. Let's go ahead and get the dynamite factories. Do 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And then we have just a little bit of extra room here. We'll figure out what to do with that. That might be storage for something, or we can build something else in there or switch one of these up. That's perfectly fine. But I want to set those to the absolute lowest priority. Also, I want to set these back to normal priority so that they get to work on all of this, because I'd like the Stackaduct to be done here sooner rather than later. So let's go ahead and say, yeah, that looks good. They can work on all of that. This guy is done over here. Good work. There we go. And then there's 2 other guys that I saw. Yep, those are done. Those are done. Let's go ahead and take you out of there. And that looks good. In fact, you know what? Across here, I kind of want to save some water back in here, just so this doesn't go dry. It's not that we're farming anything, but, you know, some green land might make it look a little bit nicer. So let's say, let's take some stairs. We'll come down here. And then we'll do, how about, where's our levees? There we go. Levees. How about right here? Looks good. We'll see if we can get them to come across here. Nope. We're gonna fill this one in, and then across the front of here, we're gonna do floodgates so we can get those up a little bit higher. There we go. That should work. And I'm not sure how they'll get to the middle one yet. Might just, in fact, I'm not sure how they'll get to that either. Let's do platforms here. Do a platform there, and well, we could do a ladder, or not a ladder, a bridge. Let's see, if I did 2 2s, 2, 2, and we say remove this, demolish, then we can put something in there. Oh, that won't work, will it? Because of that. So we'll redo this into maybe this one can go here, and this go here, and then we'll do this. And they can make their way all the way around here then. And connect in more from that side if they want to, so they can catch this one. There we go. Tell you what, while we're at it and looking at things that we're going to put in, I need to go ahead and get started on putting in more subway here. So we're going to go down under, all the way down here. There we go. So we're back here. So I want to connect these into this so that I can connect it into this, which might be a little bit difficult, but we're going to try anyway. We're going to put these across here. Start on all of that in here. Oops, don't want those. Just these, please. And then let's grab those. We're going to come this way. And we're going to come this way. And hope we don't hit any water lines in here. So they can work on all of that. Once each of those ends gets in, we'll put a tiny tubeway in on each end so they can basically drill from either end. I was looking over my colony, trying to figure out what I had to do next. I noticed there wasn't a way back to this area, so I'm going to put this tiny tubeway station in as kind of a depot to get them out here. Originally, we had the large one here, but I took that out as I was getting rid of all the other large ones. So, with that, that gives us access to this area, and it gives us access back into our Mystic Cave here. So, we've went ahead, put in a road back here, and we're going to end up connecting this so that it pressurizes the water and pushes it into the reservoir over here. I'm going to put it far enough back so that we don't really lose the look of the front of the cave, but it hopefully will help fill this up, which will fill up all of this constantly. So what we're going to do here, we need to start with making, let's see, some dynamite here. Let's go with this. Let's go this, and this. There we go. That should get all of those in. And then over here, we're going to put a 2 here. I'm really trying hard not to flood our area here, but we'll figure that out as we go. In fact, I know I'm going to need 2, so hopefully that doesn't interfere with... it might be right on top of these, but we should be good. The reason I'm going to need 2 is I need an extra space for the beavers to be able to come down and build their tunnel here. In fact, over here, when I put this in, this here will work, but we're going to have a slight problem in that we're going to have to build a space. So what we'll probably do is build one out so they can build another one here, then take it out, and then see if the tiny two-way station can work in there. If not, we might actually have to drill down to each of those locations and figure it out from there. But we will work on that either way. Looks like they're getting those dynamite in, which is good. Let's make sure that blowing these up doesn't take down... Nope, it doesn't expose the subway underneath. So we're going to start with... let's go... We want our ladders, and then they're going to have to come down here. That's exactly the wrong way. Any way but that way would have worked. There we go. All right, we'll grab this here. We can get rid of that. And then we can start putting in the tunnel dynamite right there when they can get to it. You know what? Right here isn't going to be needed for a good portion of time. Let's go ahead and take these down. Yep. And we can take this down because I don't see us currently needing to go in there. And we can put in maybe a couple of blocks here. There we go. 1, 2. And that just gives us a little bit of extra room there as they're working to put stuff in here. Have they got the dynamite in here yet? They got one of them in. They don't have the others, though. That's okay. That means, though, if they're over there, they do have this in, which is good. So let's take that out. We'll go ahead and put in stairs here so they can finish this off. Oh, they've already put in our extra land here. They're doing good on that. Let's just do more trees here. I'm going to set this to birch so that it can actually get done. And we'll set these up. Go ahead and surround this in forest. We need to demolish those. Once those are demolished, we can blow up that dynamite there. And let's say cut trees. We'll make sure you're set to cut so that somebody comes up here and gets that. I don't think I need 2 people just waiting for a forest to grow, so we'll take those out. Also, while we're over here, we're going to remove the planting area from these. One, I think it looks a little bit better as decoration when you don't have the planting area under it, but also I'm not sure they spread to other areas with the planting underneath it. If anybody knows for sure, let me know down in the comments. That way I'll know for future. Over here, they are still working on this large wall. Looks like they've got all they can do here taken care of. So we'll say we'll take that back because I know they're going to need it. And as they take those out, we will just have them pick up more of this stuff as they go backwards. We're almost out of pine here, which is not what I wanted to see. I wonder if we can put in just a little bit of dynamite up here. I know we need trees, but at this point, it might be better just to remove them. Let's go ahead, come up here, and we'll connect in over here. And that way, that should get to those. And same thing here, we'll come up here so they can head this way. It's thinking about it. There it goes. Okay. That can all go, and then we can put dynamite in there when we can get to it. This is all set, ready to go. Everything's good here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put in this. Good. Now they can get to that spare dirt, and we can probably pause this for just a bit. Send these guys somewhere else, because we've got plenty of dirt at the moment. Over here, there's a bunch of metal blocks that I don't think we need quite this much production anymore. We will when we put this in, but we don't need this. These are already standing in the way, so let's take those out. We're going to take all of this out. I know that slows down our metal block production quite a bit, but we have a decent amount of those, so we'll just go ahead and let them clean up that area for the stuff they need. I'm not going to put in the big platform here until we've got maybe our industrial area up and going. In fact, they've got one in already, so let's just pause that. And those are all still set to low, right? Yeah, they're just working pretty quick on everything. Anything that we have actual parts for, they're getting to. So speaking of which, while we're here, nope, they're still going on that one. Let's go ahead and can I just fill these in? Maybe? Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. This over here, These need put in here. I can get rid of that one. They can put the dynamite up from the bottom. They finish that. They finish that. They've got those in there. Let's check on their work in the Mystic Cave here. There we go. Well, maybe if we can get down to that. Sometimes the scroll just takes a really long time. That's good. That goes down to 1. It goes down to 1. That goes down to 1. There we go. Now I forgot to get these out. Dang it. Oh well. We're probably never going to get those, so I'm just going to erase it. I'm going to take this out of here, take this out of here, and this can go back to here. No more paths back there. Let's go ahead and put in dirt blocks here. And we'll go across here, here, in the middle. And then we can probably even put in the sluice that we're going to need right in the middle there. So they can build all of that up. And then we'll put 2 more, well, we'll put 2 more sluices probably here and here. And then we'll put dirt here. And we're going to dig the tunnel out from this side. So we'll just have to wait for them to actually be able to dig that out. I have 15 extra bots, so what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to pause some of these, and we're going to switch these over to bots. There we go. I'm sure they'll go back to being needed once we get this section set up. In fact, it looks like I've got a couple more to pause until I've got everything in here and working. So we'll get all of those, and once they do that... Yep, we still have 15 extra bots. Okay, well, hopefully that can bring in enough. Is there anywhere else that is currently using a regular beaver that we could switch over? We could do them here, but I'm not sure that will help too much. Tell you what, let's switch this over so they're planting constantly. Oh, I did come back and put in some dynamite. We're going to need to get rid of those real quick. And then we can do this. And then let's go ahead and maybe temporarily switch these out. There we go. And they're not really growing fast enough for me to worry about switching out the lumberjacks yet. So we'll come back to that. We've got 1 left here. Everybody is fine here. We've got this. Could we change maybe some of these? Nope, those are already bots. We could change these. You know what? We could even try. Let's try one of these S-bots, and we'll see if we start to get a bunch of bots that are out of power and not making it back to charge. We'll switch it, because that's usually what happens with the Builder's Hut bots, but sometimes if you can get them enough charge, they work just fine. They've got the next one in, so we're going to have to temporarily take this out, and we've got this to be taken out, and this to be taken out, this to be taken out. And we'll have to put in 1 more of these on each end. And then we'll actually have to take them back out to put in tiny tubeways. I'd put the tiny tubeway in now, but with this blocked off, it actually doesn't allow you to do that. So we need to put that tubeway in, blow this up, then put the tubeway exit there, and then they should be able to get the whole thing. Speaking of which, if we go down, or go up 1, where are they? There we go. That's where they're at. They have got this started, and over here is where we need to connect it to. And we need to continue on underneath here. Hopefully, we don't hit anything that we don't want to hit. We're going to go this way. Let's come down this way. There we go. And that should be enough. We can probably take that out of there. And we'll start on a road down here so that they can get to all of that. And this is connected. Yep. And what I just remembered is we're also going to need to change the top of this dam just a little bit, actually. So before we do that, I'm going to come in here and we're going to put actual more dams at the top, because with the extra amount of water incoming from the Mystic Cave here, I'm thinking that this will fill up not only faster, but it might overfill with only 4 exits for it. So we'll go ahead and put those in. Let's say that those are fairly important, and then we can go back underground here and say that I would like these to be fairly important. There we go. We'll handle that, and then all of this should be fairly important so that we can get all of that in here pretty quick. While we're looking at water retaining, I think I'd also like to come in here and we'll do a bit of landscaping right here so that we can put in some dams here. Probably 2 there. There we go. Come across here. That way, this will all fill up, but hopefully it stays a little separate from this. It's not going to last the whole 30-day drought, but maybe it'll just last long enough to get some extra trees here and there. It did work. They finally came and were able to get out of the tiny Tubeway stations and build this tunnel for us, which I'm going to go ahead and take back these since we don't need them, and we could definitely use the 55 planks a lot more. Go ahead, take that out of there, and we can take this one out, and let's go ahead and connect that way, and we'll wait till they get, is it out of range? Yeah, I figured. Probably need a path. There we go. Now it should be in range. There we go. Here, they're pretty much done, so let's take those out, and we'll put the tunnels back in here. And I don't know where all those supplies are going, but hopefully they're going somewhere they can get. There we go. Look at that. Now we can go back through, take out all of this stuff. No, guys, get out of there. Guys, go on. I'm going to take this out of here, and you are going to be stuck. You know what? I guess we'll wait until night, and then maybe we'll pause it and come back out of there. Actually, there's nobody down here at the moment, I don't think. Let's check and make sure real quick. No. Alright. Get out of the tunnel, Beavers, so that you can actually build the tunnel that you need to be in. And there we go. That connects in that. If we check in on the actual tunnel over here, oh, we're going to have to go back down. All the way back to this bottom layer. There we go. They are working their way through here. We can take out these because it recovers 5 of the 6, I think, that it takes. Takes 6 to put those in. Yeah. So that at least refunds us all the way through that. And then this looks good. Did they finish this? Yeah, they did. So that should be good, and it'll just pour over the top, hopefully. And in here, they've got this section finished. Yep, they sure do. So that'll all come in here. Once they come out this side and the water comes back, this should fill up and then push the water right over this way to fill this up and help this fill everything up. Oh, look, they've got their dynamite field over here taken care of. Let's take those out while we're here. And we'll just put in trees. There we go. And we'll put in more trees. I don't know how many. It looks like some of them they'll get to, some of them they won't. It's fine. We'll just let them plant whatever they can. And when this all comes back, then we'll have a fairly large pine forest. We can pause these two on our way So now we're just waiting for them to finish the last of this in the Mystic Cave. They're getting the last of it in there. And there we go. The caves are connected. I'm not seeing a ton of spillage at the moment. In fact, it might all drain down into there. But for 2 days, that's not too bad. Everything now is connected. So once, is it going? It is filling up this cave just a little bit to match with the height of that, which is okay. We'll get plenty of water eventually out of these, and that'll all get sent over to this, which should hopefully fill this up. And once this is full, it'll be probably a little while before we have any water issues again. So that should do it for today. It was an interesting build. We've got our tunnels connected now from this side. They can go all the way over to the trees, pick everything up there. They're all connected in. The Mystic Cave is now connected to our reservoir, and it looks like, yep, this end is done for the aqueduct, so they're almost ready to go. Next time we'll be lifting the water source up, which means we'll probably have to turn that off, but at 114,000 science, I think we'll be okay on science for just a bit when we redirect that somewhere else. But until then, just want to say thank you very much for stopping by, and hope to see you next time. Bye!